What is going on, anglers? TexasRigged here, and tonight I'm just going to talk about 5 flies that tend to catch me all of my fish. Let's get started. Starting off the list at number 5 is kind of like bringing your basic earthworm into the fly fishing realm. I'm sure that's kind of where we all started as a kid with our dad at a dock on the lake with earthworms, right? And now you can bring it to the fly fishing world with the San Juan worm. Super simple fly, doesn't take a lot of stuff to tie yourself. You have a little pipe cleaner material, red thread, and a little brass bead on it to keep it down in the water column. Anything that'll go for an earthworm will go for a San Juan worm. So if you're having a hard day fishing, not catching a lot, and you just even want a couple bluegills to fight off the skunk, throw in a San Juan worm. Definitely turn your day around. Coming at you in the number 4 slot is the woolly bugger. Such a great fly to fish slowly on the bottom. Imagine the movement that a crawfish would make when he's moving across the bottom. That's what you want to do with your woolly bugger. A little slow drag and then a hop. Light, not a big hop, just a light hop. Slow drag, hop. You fish these around rocks and bass eat them up. My best colors are definitely like a brown or a green, like an olive drab green. But for sure, black works in all situations. I've caught big fish with white woolly buggers. Really versatile fly that you can not only fish on the bottom, you can fish in the middle of the water column and also make them look like bait fish or other forage like baby bass. Tie them in different color combinations and man, you can make this thing happen. You can really make these things work for you. Up next, in the number 3 slot, is what I would consider the jerkbait of the fly fishing world. If you like chucking a jerkbait out there, giving it a twitch, letting it sit in the middle of the water column, or even having that slow fall, maybe even if you have a swimming jerkbait, you can kind of twitch, go like a Rapala. Clouser fly is where it's at, baby. These things are great if they're not weighted. They don't have the bead head on the front. Like this one here has 2 brass beads on the front to weight it down, but if you take them off, it turns into a weightless clouser fly and it has such a slow fall. That is something I don't like to talk about often because it's kind of a trick. Man, tricky bass love clouser flies. They're so lightweight. They're ultralight tackle for fly fishing, in my opinion. Like when you take these bead heads off and you let that fly just guide in the middle of the water column and slowly sink, and then you can work it just like a jerkbait. It's great. But if you throw the bead heads on there and you want to get if you tie this to look like a bluegill, you can get it to go on the bottom. These are great bed fishing flies. You can really get it in there and just sit on the bottom with the nose up. Same with woolly buggers. These two, the number 4 slot and number 3 slot, are interchangeable in a lot of ways. Super great at just targeting any forage that you want. You can tie them into any color combination, so really make them look like whatever you want them to. The number 2 slot hold a very special spot in my heart. These little flies generate so much action that they're just the ultimate bang for your buck, in my opinion. Bring one of these bad boys down to the creek or down to the bayou and you'll have bluegill hitting all night long. If you want to get your kids hooked on fishing, get them a small fly rod and get them some poppers. Poppers are the best way to catch fish fast. Multi-species fly. You don't have to do a lot. You cast it out there, you let it sit. It's a visual object that kids can look at, that it's easy to see, and then boom, when that action happens, baby, there's nothing better than catching fish topwater on a fly. The best way to do that is with a popper. Go get you some poppers. I recommend the Bogglebug from Orvis. These are little wooden flies that I got as a Christmas gift. I believe they're just small pieces of wood or cork and then someone painted on them. But you can also just go to Hobby Lobby or any craft store, get yourself some foam, some craft foam, and you can make any body design you want. You can make bugs, bees, beetles, little frogs. Poppers are so cool. And finally, in the number 1 slot, the fly that I recommend the most is the fly that you tie yourself. Regardless of what it is, clouser fly, popper, woolly bugger, any fly, as long as you tie it yourself, catching a fish on a fly that you tied in your bedroom or with your friends or with your brother or your dad, it does not feel better. That is the best way to fall in love with fishing all over again. I'm serious. Once I started tying my own flies, it changed the way that I think about fishing. So my recommendation is to go pick up a fly rod, get it. It doesn't matter if it's expensive or not. My favorite fly rod's $25, and it made me fall in love with fishing all over again. So my biggest recommendation It's just to go out, tie your own flies, and see what works. Make your own combinations, make up your own fly. You can call it whatever you want. Just go be creative. I'll see you guys next time. Texas Rigged, out.